What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you've got your seatbelt on. Today, we're going to be looking at one of America's kitchen staples. That is Reynolds Consumer Products, ticker symbol REYN. I guaranteed I have some Reynolds aluminum foil downstairs in my kitchen, but that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about the stock. So, looking at some key facts here, the stock is $23.17 as of this recording. By the time this video comes out, which will be next week, this Thursday, which is today, I'm recording this on the previous Friday. I I am guessing the stock price will be less than 23.17, and I'm gonna go even further to say by the end of February, the stock will be below 23.17. But that's neither here nor there. We are looking at their market cap around 4,870,000,000, which is amazing. Fantastic sales. They are profitable. They do have $304 million in income. They have $53 million cash on hand. But there is one glaring data point here that we cannot ignore. That is their debt. They have $1.699 billion in debt, which, if you ask me, is a little insane. What we'll do after this slide presentation, we'll actually go into FinViz and see if their debt situation is only getting worse or if they're getting out of this hole. Their gross margins are 25%, which is fantastic. If we get to the 30% margin level, that is considered a higher growth company. Considering this is a more defensive play, something you see in your kitchen, um, you know, the gross margin's pretty amazing. What we're looking at right here, this full chart, which my head is blocking, let me shrink, is essentially the whole picture of the Reynolds trading history. So there's not going to be so much to go off of, but it is going to give us a little preview of a potential window to watch critically for this stock, which we'll get into in a couple slides. There are 210 million shares outstanding. There is a 12% short on this. The short percentage is increasing, meaning more people are betting that the stock is going to go lower. If we look at the monthly close candle of January, it is very bearish. If we look at the weekly candle for the end of this week, it is also very bearish. This company is heading to support levels, which we're going to review. So make sure you stick around to document those. The quick ratio is a 0.8, which I typically do like stocks over a 1. So if Reynolds were to close their doors tomorrow, they would not be able to pay off they'd pay off some of it, but they would not be able to pay off all of their debts, all their notes, all their loans, their matching 401k contributions. Any debts that they have, they would not be able to pay off all of them. Reynolds, they are a $4 billion market cap company. They're not going anywhere. The quick ratio of 0.8 is not a concern at all. It's just something I do like to cover for the more smaller companies here. If we're looking at the daily chart over the past year, it is about flat. However, I think we're about to go into a downturn here, which we'll see. There is a potential reversal if we're looking at this chart without bias, because that's assuming we're not looking at the bigger picture, which we are. There's a potential reversal if you are a scalp trader, day trader, but again, it's fighting the SMAs. It's getting rejected. This candle here, which I think you guys can see, that's a top major drop here. So yeah. If we're looking at the weekly chart, and again, I take these snips of the weeklies, typically of the cycle high and cycle low. So we looked at the cycle high for this weekly picture, and it's about down 25%, which is good if you are someone looking for opportunity. When you see your favorite groceries, like let's say eggs, milk, protein powder, protein bars, juice, when they go on sale, you stock up. Deodorant, electronics, computers, whatever, you stock up. But when a stock goes down, people jump ship and lose any conviction they have. This weekly chart is a blessing for somebody who's waiting to get into this stock. Um, and let me tell you, there are people waiting. There are big institutions that are actually potentially manipulating this stock downward to get it even cheaper. They want to instill fear by dropping the price and then getting in. We'll look at that. So this downtrend, this weekly trend is obviously down. This last week's candle was ugly. I don't have the picture here, but it is a red bearish candle. I don't see a potential reversal, but if we're being unbiased looking at this chart, maybe it's an inverted hammer here, but the January weekly just closed and it was ugly. On the weekly chart, it was trying to retake the 20 and the 50 SMAs, but it obviously did not. So again, it just keeps getting rejected on the 20 and 50 SMAs on the daily and the weekly. Then looking at the monthly, the trend is still down. There's a potential big bounce around $20, but I have some supports that we'll look at here in a moment. Again, the stock just keeps rejecting all the SMAs. We want to wait until the trend is your friend. Right now, the trend is down. If you're shorting, that's good for you. But if you are someone who's waiting to buy at an opportunity, maybe wait a little bit longer. Now, when we are looking at our proprietary price calculation, we take into consideration the market cap, income, sales, debt, cash, shares outstanding to give us a picture of what the potential stock price could be. This calculation was built for microcap companies, but it does typically work for even the largest of companies. And essentially what it does, it gives us a guide. I would say, I keep saying the word bias, an unbiased guide to what the stock could be. So right now, if we take into account the market cap, income, sales, cash, debt, and the shares outstanding, we get a $34 price target, which is a bit above where we are today. But again, you have to remember the trend is your friend until the end. And right now, the people who are closely manipulating the stock, they are making sure the stock fails when it tries to overtake the simple moving averages. We'll look at that in a minute. So the analyst's target is $26.89, which is currently above the current price of $23.17. Then my price target is a lofty $34.42. And again, that just shows that my scanner is signifying that the stock should probably be higher if the technicals were not being rejected and the trend was our friend on the buy side and moving upwards. So this would be our upside target, but we want to just take a step back here. Think about what's going on when we look at institutional hedge fund ownership. The stock is going down, but institutional ownership is going up. That leads me to believe essentially big money is causing fear in retail or other investors to say, you know what, this stock is not giving me good returns. I'm just going to put my money in the S&P 500. People bail, they sell, stock price goes down, institutions gobble it up. So as we can see right here, the stock is the highest it's been since 2021. In terms, sorry, not the stock, the institutional ownership is the highest it's been since 2021. So keep that into consideration in your back pocket. When we're looking at my thesis here, we'll go through these, but I do have an apex, which is right there. So the first support to watch is $22.91. I think we're going to slice right through that. The next spot is $22.47. And then the last support we're going to watch is $20.91, which is, it would be a double bottom here, but I think manipulators could get it to go lower. If the stock does happen to rise up, $24.54 could be the first target to potentially sell for some quick cash. $25.02 and then $25.38 as our top three resistances. My area to watch is going to be the apex right here. And that is at May of 2026. So that's coming. I think we see a severe drop Not because the stock is bad, just because we're seeing this downward channel right here. My head's kind of in the way. We have support. Where's my mouse? Where did my mouse go? I don't think you guys can see it. Did the screen freeze? Nope, this is the last. There it is. Anyway, right here above my head, right there, we can see the candle hitting the channel. Right in the bottom of the channel, hitting the top of the channel. I think we're going to go down, which that looks to be, you can't see my mouse, below that bubble essentially. So that's my thesis. We're going to look at FinViz. We want to see if their debt situation is improving. And then also I want to show you the SMA rejection right meow. All right, we will look at the SMA rejection first because this is very important and what I want to show you. So right here we have our SMAs. This brighter orange one is going to be our 50 SMA, and that is currently at $23.83. Our purple line right here, it's very faint. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's following here. That SMA is at $23.55. And then the 200 SMA is at $23.15. As we can see, the stock barely edges above it. But I think what we're going to see on Monday, which this video is coming out later in the week, the stock will be rejecting this 200 SMA. Take a water break. So now let's look at the weekly, for example. Again, the stock, we'll go back right here. You can see the crosshairs. We saw rejection on the 200 SMA, the 50 SMA, and the 20 SMA. That is a triple negative right there. The stock overcomes the 20 here, tries, you see this huge candle right here, tries to do a moonshot up to 200 SMA, it fails. Barely, it can't even hold over the 50 SMA for several weeks. Then this week, the 50 SMA, is it the 50 or the 200? It's the 50. Is at $23.28, and the stock price is $23.17. The stock just failed literally Friday. Today, the 50 SMA on the weekly. So we're not looking good on the daily. We're not looking good on the weekly. The monthly, can you guys see right here? The stock rejected this very, very, very hard, the 20 SMA. And we can see these are very bearish candles. We have a top here. Stock tries to recover, just falls out the bottom. This stock is just bearish. So again, the SMA rejection is real. And now we're going to look at the debt situation. Is it getting better? Good question. We're going to find out. We're on the quarterly. That is good. Long-term debt went from 1.7 billion to 1.698 billion. That's good. That was about a $4 million, $1,698,000,000 from 702 million. So about a $4 million improvement, but then we go backwards about 1 million from 1,698,000,000 to 1,699,000,000. So again, kind of in this holding pattern of not really making a dent on the debt. Let's look at the annual. The annual, it actually looks like they are making significant progress. 2.1 billion debt in 2022. Am I in the right area? Yes. 2023, 1.88 billion. That is a pretty good improvement. And then 2024, we're trailing. No, we're not trailing. Sorry. 1.773 billion. So it actually looks like their debt is improving year over year. The quarterly makes it look like it is not. But again, they're at 1.6 billion, 1.699 billion. So it is an improvement from 2024. We have to give them their roses on that. While we're here, let's just look at some other items here. Is the company profit? Are their profits getting better? Gross profit 189 in Q1 2025, 226, very good. And then 233, profits looking good. So I think once this does get fully manipulated, we see a bottom, we see some consolidation on that bottom. Well, I think we'll see institutions jumping in even further, and I think we could see a very nice run to 30 plus once the dust settles and the company starts their move up. I think that might be the second half of 2026. We will see. It really just depends how long the downturn lasts and how long it takes to stabilize. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Excited to see you guys again. Take care.